Alright, I just picked up some asparagus here to plant. 6-pack for $3.98. I got a couple of these. Inside this is what they're called are asparagus crowns. Let's go ahead and take this out. Let me show you. So this is what you're going to be given. So that it's pretty dry looking. So I want to get this in some water soon and get this hydrated. Let's go ahead and get this out. And you can see it's very dry. Oh, you got it on your nose. Go ahead and soak that in the water. Okay, so I have one more here. Let's see how this one looks. This one actually looks a lot moister. And see how the roots are coming out the bottom? That looks much more likely to survive. So if this is dried out on the bottom, like that other one was, and you don't see any roots, I would go ahead and return it because it's just not going to be ideal. You can tell this one's going to grow really well. Let's compare it. I'm going to put it in here just for now. Let it absorb some of the water. This one, look at, this one doesn't have roots. So this one never, I don't think, survived. They didn't give it enough moisture. So I'd go ahead and return that. That's what's kind of nice about Home Depot is they have a return policy. But I'm gonna unwrap each one of these, take this rubber band off, and you can plant multiple asparagus crowns here. Okay, let me show you. I just took those rubber bands off, and you can see here. Just lay them out right here. How many we got? We got, so this one doesn't have any growths coming out. This one doesn't either. These ones look, that one looks really good. That one looks good. That one's got some new growth. So I'm pretty confident that those three are going to take root. These ones, I'm not sure about it. So far, out of 2 packages, half of a package looks good. So that's not the greatest. What we're going to do first is make sure you got some good soil, well draining, good mix. So this is, you can see how dry it is right now. This is just blowing in the air. So I need to get this moist real quick. So I got about 1 gallon of water. I think I'm using a 15-gallon Smart Pot, I believe, or this is a 10-gallon. Not sure. Let's go ahead and soak this real good. Let that soak in for a couple minutes. So what I'm going to use is some worm castings. Even though the soil's pretty good, I want to give it some little extra worm castings in this right here. This is Mycos, mycorrhiza fungi. This is water-soluble soil fungi. Really good for the roots. It creates a, you can see right here, it creates a sponge-like mass which collects and stores nutrients and water, increasing uptake of both. So this stuff is critical for roots to get a good start. So let's go ahead and start planting some of these. I got this other spoon here. So I do know I have 3 of them that are doing pretty good. You can see right here the root on that one. So I'm gonna do at least 3, and these, the good thing about asparagus, they do spread out. Let's go ahead and dig 3 holes. You can see it's still kind of dry in there. 3 main holes. I think these are the ones that are gonna have the best chance of growing. Give them a few inches of room. I'm gonna go ahead and water each one of those holes again. Keys to keeping this very moist when they start out. Right now what I'm gonna do is grab some of this worm castings here. Got a handful a little more, and drop it into each hole. Just like that. It's good to have some gardening gloves as well. You don't want to get all the stuff up in your fingernails. Okay, so you can see each hole has a good amount of worm castings. So now what I want to do is use the Mycos here. So I'm going to sprinkle in maybe a half a tablespoon into each one. Just kind of eyeballing this. You can't really overdo it. So this is going to make sure they have a great start for those roots. Right, so now let's go ahead and grab one of those. Look at that, that's gonna be our best one, I think. Set that right inside of that. And I'm gonna just kind of push some of the soil around so it doesn't tip over, just like that. Let those things stick up a little bit, which is fine. I'll leave them sticking up like a inch or two. All right, let's grab another one. And this one's got little smaller roots. Set that one in. Be really careful with these. These are fragile. These roots can break off real easy. Okay, this last one. And the other three over there, I think I'm going to return because they just didn't look that great. All right, so in there, we'll probably get some mulch on there as well, but let me first water these one more time. I'm going to water everything around this whole area. Now that will give those a great start. We're going to get some mulch on here as well. All right, so I got some shredded wood mulch you can see in here. I got all this free from the landfill. They make their own shredded green waste from all the landscapers and people that go into the landfill. Any green material is shredded up. You can see here the small particles. You'll get an occasional stick, which is fine, but I'll take out some of the bigger things like this. So I'll just throw this aside. And this will be perfect to put over my plants. This is kind of big. So anything real big that you don't want to impede, this is kind of awkward. Let that break down a little farther. So I'm gonna walk over here to the asparagus and we're gonna get a nice layer over this. This is a really pretty plant. This is forget the name of it. It repels insects as well. So let's go ahead and put this on, sprinkle this around. All right, let's keep putting this down. So these don't look like much right now. They look kind of dead, but I assure you, keep these things moist and watered and they're gonna start shooting up here. Now we have an early spring here in San Diego. In fact, January is pretty much the beginning of spring. We're gonna have some more cold months, but right now it's actually like 80 degrees. So we can pretty much grow year round for the most part. All right, we'll check on this in a couple weeks and see how it looks so you guys get an idea of how long it takes to get your asparagus to get sprouted. So I'm just gonna sprinkle this down a little bit more. Make sure that mulch is wet down pretty well. Okay, those are gonna have a great start. So we'll keep an eye on those. Let you guys know how these come out. All right, let's check out these asparagus that I planted. So I got these in the ground last week, and I was showing you a lot of them didn't have roots established on them, and I was a little concerned, but one of them did grow. Look at this. So we got an asparagus started. That's good news. So I put a lot of these in, and I wasn't sure if they were going to grow because they didn't have roots. So it's very critical that when you're planting these, they have roots already coming out of the bottom. Once you have one though, these will continue to replicate themselves, and they'll spread throughout this container here. So that's good news right there. All right, so get out there and plant yourself some asparagus. We'll check on this a little later, see how the progress does here. But once you get one, that's a good sign because they'll continue to grow. All right, you guys, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, click like, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.